What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sean. I'm a driver trainer here with Rosedale Transport, and I put out videos just like this every day trying to help you succeed as a truck driver. Today's video, we're going to talk to you about what is the FMCSA Adverse Driving Condition Exemption, how do we use it, how we should not use it. So make sure you stick with all the way to the end of the video, and if you get some value from it, please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe, because I put out videos, like I said, every day trying to teach you something the CDL school will not teach you. Drive something like this, there ain't no oil in it, the oil comes out. Now, I stopped here at this road ranger, went inside, the driver comes here in Kansas, and we got the problem. He broke. If y'all ever seen anything like this, check this out. All right, so what is the FMCSA Adverse Driving Condition Exemption? I'm going to read it to you right here, okay? It says the adverse condition exemption to the Standard Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, which is the FMCSA, hours of service regulation refers to a regulatory provision that allows commercial truck drivers to exceed the maximum number of hours they can drive in a day by up to 2 hours under certain road and weather conditions. The exemption of special hours of service driving condition under 49 CFR 395.1 in the U.S. and SOR 2005-313 S76 in Canada is intended to ensure that drivers are not penalized for circumstances beyond their control and can safely continue their trip without putting themselves in other risk. Okay, now what is this? Okay, it's an exemption that allows us to extend 2 hours, up to 2 hours. You can't go over, over your 14 and 2 hours over your 11, but it has to be something out of control. It says, what is considered an adverse condition? Adverse driving conditions examples include heavy rain, snow, sleet, ice, or other adverse weather conditions that were not forecasted. Heavy fog, high winds, dust storms, unexpectedly heavy traffic, road closures due to accidents and other incidents, other exceptional circumstances beyond the driver's control that make it difficult or impossible for them to their trip with the required hours of service time limits. Okay. Being stuck in traffic and during rush hour is not considered adverse conditions. You cannot use this rule for that. Now, if we go back up here, it says what can be considered. It says heavy rain, snow, sleet, ice, or other adverse weather conditions that were not forecasted. All right, here's your problem, and this is where they're going to get you at. I personally have never used this exemption, and the reason why, number one, is because I normally just don't use it, so I don't have to use it, but if I needed it, I could, but you got to be careful when using this, and I warn you because it says it's not forecasted. All right, so if you're going down the road, all of a sudden it starts snowing, you're in a blizzard, and you put it down as adverse driving conditions, and you get checked later, they can say, hey, did you see it on the app? Did you watch the news? Was it not forecasted here? Oh, it was. It was wrong, but you knew it. You knew it. They don't have to prove that you actually knew it, that you could have known it. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to be careful for that. Circumstances that I would use it on is this: let's say there was a head-on collision, they shut it down, you could use it then. But you can only extend it up to 2 hours. So if it's taking you 6 hours to get through there and you run out of time, they know what it's talking about. Can you use it up to 2 hours to find a place safe at Haven's, what you're supposed to use it as? Now, I'm in the passenger seat today. We got my partner's over here driving. I call him my partner now. He's the trainee, but he's more like a partner. He's doing good over here. This is Jose over here. He's driving while I'm talking to you on this video. But he's doing a great job, by the way. But so we're talking about adverse driving conditions and the exemption for that, okay? Now that we're pulling out of this truck stop, let me go ahead and do the right thing. Let's put on my safety, my seatbelt right here, you know what I'm saying? All right, so you got to be careful when you use this rule. Also, if you have a Samsara, like we do here at Rosedale, you would have to call into your administrator, because you can't just do it and notate it on your log. There's a way that you go on there and you actually claim that exemption on your ELD. I was looking a while ago, and the FMCSA here doesn't have it on there. It has it, but you have to call our fleet administrator, which is our safety driver, and say, hey, I'm going to claim this. I need you to turn it on. Some companies may allow you to do it. Some companies may not. So that's the main thing right there. It also says, when can I use that for driving condition exemption? It says you can use the exemption anytime that you encounter truly exceptional adverse conditions that cannot prevent you from completing your trip with the normal FMCSA hours of duty or state regulations. There's really no limit to when you can use it. You just need to make sure that you document it and use the exemption, there's exemption, in your ELD before you take it. So you have to use the exemption. You've got to go into your ELD and claim it. You might have to call your safety manager to get that done. And it says, how do you use the adverse driving conditions exemption? Well, first off, you have to determine if you're truly driving in adverse weather conditions. You must first assess if the weather or road conditions are so severe that you're unable to safely complete your trip for the normal hours of service. Okay? You need to document the adverse conditions. You must keep a log or other written documentation of the adverse conditions, including the date, time, specific circumstances that made it difficult or impossible to complete the trip with normal hours of service. Meaning, a good example of this is if they shut the highway down. They shut it down at mile marker 154 at 3:03 p.m. due to the fatality. That's something that's documented, okay, that you can use. Now, if you're just willy-nilly using it for no reason, then get you for falsifying your logs, which is worse than just violating your hours of service. So make sure that you're doing this properly, okay? You got to notify your carrier. You must notify your carrier of the adverse conditions and that you are using the adverse condition exemption. Return to duty status as soon as possible once the adverse condition has passed. You must return to normal duty status and comply with the hours of service regulations as usual. Now, just because you got 2 hours don't mean you can just drive over the 2 hours. It's to the next place to park safely. So if you're on your right at your 11th hour, you run out of time, you were trying to get it right up here, but you were stuck through that bad traffic for an hour and 10 minutes, and now the traffic's clear, don't mean you drive to the 50 minutes to get him bothered. You have to do it within the 2 hours to find the safe, okay? All right. Make sure you use the hour of service rules exemption sparingly and only when absolutely necessary for safety reasons. You must make sure you adequately document the exception in accordance with the FMCSA regulations. Now, can we use this? Yes. Have I ever used it? No. Will I not? Will I use it one day? I might. But I try to avoid it when I can because there's a lot of gray area with it. It was not that gray, but it's a lot of ways you can get in trouble, so I try not to. But I appreciate you watching this video. If that helped clear that up a little bit, please let me know in the comments. And if you're looking for a great company to work for, call the number at the bottom of the screen, 706-226-1003. If you're a new driver, hey, you over here, you'll be training with me soon. So come on over to Rosedale. Just turn along with Sean. Let's get it.